Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Show, where Rob, every time we come on, feels more and more seasoned. Nicole just got through reiterating that to him.
800-808-5548 if you have questions. We are talking about commercial real estate law, and we have one of the top realtors under 30 that can be found anywhere.
Hey.
Anywhere.
Hey.
This shameless plug brought to you by.
But, before we do that, though, we actually have a caller right now. Amanda, how are you doing?
It's Samantha.
Oh, Samantha.
Both of them.
Happens commonly. And I'm sorry, I didn't realize that the attorney specialized in commercial real estate, but he probably still would be able to answer my question.
He
Yes,
and he does both.
He does both, Samantha.
Wonderful, thank you. My clients are primarily builders and flippers and investors. And so a common question that I get, and I'm really kind of gray on it on this, is how many owner finance transactions is one person able to do? And and that means within themselves and within one of their own entities. How many deals could they effectively owner finance out?
Thank you for calling in, Samantha. Now, the world has changed since January 10th, 2014 on owner financing because of Dodd-Frank, thanks to, I guess, Senator Dodd and Representative Barney Frank. Now, if you're an individual selling your house, you're allowed to do one transaction per year, and you're not obligated to have a license. Nowadays, we have the loan originator licensee out there, which are regulated by the federal government, not just by the state of Texas anymore.
Correct.
As Christopher Kelso knows.
That's correct. The national the national licensing system, basically, that's out there. The national mortgage.
Now,
licensing
it was my
system.
understanding under the SAFE Act that it was in 2010 that they allowed to use investors to do any 12, a rolling 12 months.
Yeah.
So has that changed for 2014?
It has been changed by Dodd-Frank. Dodd-Frank took over on January 10th of 2014. Yeah. So actually, Dodd-Frank goes to certain complications. I've given a seminar, a whole hour on owner financing and Dodd-Frank. So it will be this is which basically a synopsis. If you have an entity trying to sell to buyers on owner financing basis, and again, Dodd-Frank only applies to buyers who are using the residential properties as their primary residence. If you have buyers...
Because, a lot of them also, they're owner financing deals to other investors who are using the property as income-producing rental property.
Okay. Now, if you're selling the homes to investors, then Dodd-Frank does not apply.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about Dodd-Frank. But if you have a buyer who's going to use the house as his or her home, then you have to watch out for Dodd-Frank.
Okay, and so if that's the case, then it's one a year per person.
1 a year for one person.
And per entity also?
If you have an entity, you can do up to 3 a year. However, there are certain rules and regulations that apply. My general approach to owner financing nowadays is if you're going to do more than 1 a year, you should use a loan originating, a residential mortgage loan originator to act as a go-between between the owner financier and the borrower.
There's a new business for you, Chris.
Absolutely, yeah. I think I'm going to get with Chris after this.
Yeah, we do use note servicing companies, especially if some of the properties, if it's a wrap, if some of the properties are still being financed.
No, it's not just the servicing part of it. It's the origination part of it that a mortgage company can get involved in. For example, like collecting all the documents from the borrowers to be able to show that this borrower is going to be able to pay the monthly mortgage payment. Check his credit score, check the borrower's income, employment, collected 1003 applications, issued a TO, issued GFE to the borrowers. So I highly recommend that if you're going to do owner finance more than one a year, you have to get a loan, residential mortgage loan originator involved.
Do you have anyone that you like to refer?
Christopher Kelso, do you
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, Rob was joking, saying, "Hey, good." You know, obviously from a loan perspective, you know, we generate and generate loans under our own name, et cetera, et cetera. I guess what you're suggesting is somebody who would be sort of a go-between right there to be able to properly display, if they, in the event of an audit, that they were protected by going through this process of having.
Sure, I understand that. We pull all of the documents that you mentioned, and we use an attorney to write the contract. And we, clear through title and then use the note servicing company to maintain it.
But they want to make sure that they're following all the guidelines of CFPB in rights of rescission and those types of things that have to be disclosed on any normal mortgage application. So I'm sure that's their logic behind using a loan.
I like that though. Yeah, one more step is not a problem. No, I like to keep it clean and simple.
Well, Chris, I'm thinking that
I'm thinking I'm going to give you a call a little bit later on this week.
Please do. I work with Rob. He's got my number, so please ask him.
Yeah, Samantha Merritt is with Berkshire Hathaway Anderson Properties and a top agent. So
absolutely.
Does lots
we
of
have
business.
Definitely met. Well, Samantha, hopefully that answers some of your questions right there. I'll definitely be getting together with you later on this week, and we'll see what we can come up with there for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Very
Likewise.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, and that's a great question right there. You know, one of the things obviously is as Dodd-Frank has gone into place and the CFPB has taken over, a lot of things have changed. And one of the things, it gets back to using a professional in that transaction. You always want to make sure that in a real estate transaction, you use licensed professionals. You use individuals who also can guide you through that process. And speaking of individuals to guide you through processes, we have a great individual right here with Nicole, who has now been nominated as one of the top 30 under 30.
Finalists, 50
finalists. One of the 50 finalists,
I haven't
sorry.
made it yet.
50
Nar might kill
finalists
me.
as the top, she got it correct, 30 under 30. We're talking about, obviously, best practices, et cetera.
Right.
What is the secret to your success? I mean, how did you get into the business, and what has brought you to this point? What are some of your best practices that you utilize?
Well, coming into the business, I've technically been in the business since I was 15 years old. My mother works for home building.
So just about 3 or 4 years then.
Yeah, just about
Exactly.
3 or 4 years, yes.
Yeah.
And then my father is a mortgage banker as well. So I've been kind of immersed in this industry for a while. But one of the most important
I feel sorry
things,
for you. Both sides right there.
I know. I've known about loan origination since I was 3.
Exactly.
But as far as best practices go, one of the best things is to have a good legal counselor like Chris on your side. That way you can field questions to them when they come to you, because a lot of times you want to minimize risk when you're answering those types of questions to your clients. So being able to field them to a knowledgeable professional is huge. Another thing that I've done is staying up to date with building regulations, building codes, building trends, what's going on in our market and in our industry, making sure that I'm aware of things like new energy efficiency features and solar technology and things that the buyers and sellers are really looking for.
That was our last week's show.
Oh.
Exactly.
Well, kicking back to that. But yeah, just staying up to date in what's going on and really focusing in on my buyers and sellers' needs and being empathetic to them and their situation and really being more of a trusted advisor than a real estate professional to them is really what's helped me.
And the other thing, because I've worked with Nicole for a little while now, and an excellent individual. But the other thing is the attention to detail. One of the things, how to go do it, who to call, but it's also the attention to detail and the aspect of, when you don't know something, where to put that individual to get the best answers.
Absolutely. And being a part of the Real Estate Rat Pack with these guys, I've met several individuals. Ashley Bowles is one of the guys that I refer clients to for inspections on my
Phenomenal
referral
home
list.
inspection.
Yes.
Over
Yes.
there at
That's a
AB
great
Bowles
job.
Home Inspection.
Yes. So
Shameless plug. We'll invoice them.
Yeah, and we did.
And we do.
yeah,
He's great.
But just having a really good, knowledgeable base group of individuals that I can turn to has been vital. Being a young realtor in the industry, making sure that I have resources available.
So
for
if
that.
I'm not old but I'm seasoned,
Yes.
then she would be not young but Unseasoned.
I'm unseasoned. Yes.
Okay. I just want to get the playing field here.
We are always trying to make sure Rob references himself not as old, but as seasoned.
As seasoned. Yes.
So people can vote for you for this top 30 thing?
Absolutely.
Where do we find that?
March 21st, which is next Friday, on Realtor.com/30 under 30. They're going to have all of our profiles for the 50 finalists. You can go on there. You can log in and vote once per day. And that is for the web favorite category, which I would really like to take home for the city of Houston. Bringing home the web favorite would be huge for us here because we don't have a web favorite
Nicole,
winner.
Can you do us a favor and post that link on the Facebook page for the Real Estate Rat Pack?
I absolutely will. I would love to do that.
And one of the things, is interesting is, I think we were talking about this, in Houston, there's only 2 finalists.
That is correct. Me and one other agent from Martha Turner Properties.
So there's only 2 agents right now, that 5 in the state of Texas.
That's correct.
It's
yes.
amazing to consider that the market here, and as demanding as it is, as hot as it is, that we don't have more on the list. But I don't know. Maybe they're thinking that everybody everywhere else has to work really hard to get their sales or something. I don't know.
They do, and it's really interesting watching the numbers from realtors nationwide, because you have some that sell $30 million as an individual and some that have sold $6 million as an individual, and it all goes into different factors: community involvement, the market that they're in, the transaction size that they've done, and what really sets them apart and makes them unique as an individual agent. And that's really what I think the National Association of Realtors is looking for within this contest, this competition.
Well, not only all those listening out there, but a lot of our agents that are listening out there, do us a favor. Let's support one of Houston's own right here, an individual who's a great individual, who has done a lot, who will continue to do a lot. But I think it's important for us to continue to promote how important and how vital real estate is in general, but also in the Houston market. I mean, it's absolutely booming. And it's important for us to always have individuals like Nicole who are energetic, who are focused, who are dedicated, and who are professional in an industry that I absolutely love and have been involved with for a long time. And it's fun to see individuals like that. So,
it gives me hope for the future.
Hope
Thank
for the
you.
future. That is correct. and 95 years from now, she might be sitting here saying she's seasoned.
Yes.
95 short years
Well,
from now.
seasoning can happen pretty quickly in real estate because it really is a trial by fire. You get your license, you're excited, you get out there in the field, and then that's where you actually learn something.
Well, speaking of learning something, I learned when that music comes on, we have to go to another break. So everybody, stay tuned. We'll be back for the next segment in one moment.